fight is only 2.5 weeks from going on. November 14th is the date. We are supposed to think that Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis are gonna be fighting on Netflix, but not so fast, my friend. There's another, yes, I said another domestic abuse allegation against Gervonta Davis, and that may either destroy, postpone, change.
Ladies and gentlemen, put an end to whatever you're doing because this has caused the internet to blow up like a botched Kardashian wedding. Following the arrest of Gervonta Davis and the cancellation of Jake Paul's alleged mega fight, Floyd Money Mayweather has finally spoken out. And his words? Oh, it's just anarchy covered in gold chains and infused with the energy of petty billionaires. Zeus himself wrote this soap opera, so it's not your typical boxing headline. Imagine a catastrophic meltdown that combines the drama of love and hip-hop, the betrayal of Game of Thrones, and Jake Paul's hallucination. The internet hasn't slept since Floyd's remarks, which were more impactful than one of his 2015 barbs. Rumor has it that Floyd reveals secrets that make the entire situation 10 times more complicated. The arrest of Gervonta, uncontrolled, cancelled bout with Jake Paul, even more untamed. However, Floyd's response, that is the nuclear bomb that no one anticipated. We're about to embark on the most dramatic crossover since Elon Musk attempted to out-tweet Kanye. So grab some popcorn, hide your sanity, and fasten your seatbelts. Money, insanity, and Mayweather-level shadow abound in this tale. Welcome to the circus. Now imagine this, memes are spreading more quickly than punches. The boxing world is already on the verge of collapse, and all of a sudden, word breaks that Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been arrested, detained once more. Reddit is on fire, Twitter is in full investigative mode, and supporters are yelling, "Not again, Tank!" This is where things become deliciously nasty though. While everyone is worried about Gervonta, Jake Paul's much-anticipated battle is abruptly cancelled. Indeed, a beginner sparring with Tyson Fury was not as successful as the YouTube boxing cash machine, and Floyd Mayweather joins the conversation just when everyone thought it couldn't get any more dramatic. Floyd no longer merely responds. No. At a yacht party, Floyd speaks like a billionaire dropping mic bombs. Every syllable sounds like it's doused in gasoline, despite the calm voice and fashionable shades. I told everyone, when you play gangster in a sport, real life hits harder than any punch, he is known to have said. Interpretation. Floyd essentially stated that Gervonta's demise was caused by poor decisions rather than bad luck. Oh no, the internet goes crazy right away. Floyd is being referred to by some fans as the ultimate villain, and by others as a cold-hearted genius. But this is typical Mayweather, no doubt about it. He doesn't become angry, he is not alarmed. While sipping champagne that costs more than your car, he simply delivers verbal knockouts. This drama did not begin yesterday, so let's take a moment to go back in time. Gervonta Davis is Floyd's protege, therefore he's not just any boxer. Floyd promoted him and made him seem like Mayweather's second coming. However, something broke halfway between the fast vehicles and the championship belts. Gervonta began to act as though he was in charge. He cut ties with Floyd, began disparaging him in interviews, and stated unequivocally, "I don't need Mayweather anymore." Guess what, Tank? Karma must have been in the first row, because people saw Mayweather's disappointment, as well as Gervonta's face, when those blue lights flashed and that mugshot appeared online. The man who turned Money Team into a worldwide brand suddenly had to witness his pupil become a widely shared warning story. Then there's Jake Paul, the disruptive YouTuber who managed to become relevant in the boxing world. Jake was meant to be the main attraction for another massive fight, and you are aware of his marketing tactics, which include trash talk, extravagant promises, private jets, and fabricated feuds that resemble reality show reunions. However, the fight is abruptly cancelled. Officially, it's due to scheduling issues, but sources claim there's much more going on. Promoters allegedly withdrew once Gervonta's arrest became public due to concerns about negative publicity. According to others, Jake's rival desired more money. The loudest theory, though, Mayweather was involved in some way. You read correctly. Floyd the puppet master. Mayweather may have had some influence. The problem is that Mayweather never forgets. For years, Jake Paul has been criticizing him, ridiculing his legacy, making fun of his age, and even accusing him of robbing fighters. Do you think Floyd will simply grin and move on? Please, the man who trademarked his moniker is the same one. Like a resentful tax auditor, he hoards receipts. Fans began making connections after Jake's fight broke down immediately following Gervonta's arrest. Floyd just Thanos snapped Jake's fight and Tank's career in 1 week, read a widely shared tweet. At this point, Mayweather doesn't box people, he boxes fate, said another user. And really, they may be correct, because Floyd's next move was strategy rather than silence. On Instagram, he shared a mysterious picture, just a glimpse of his boxing gloves with the message, "Kings are disciplined." Headlines are created by ego. Not a tag, no names. However, everyone was aware of the target. The comments section became a battlefield, with some people backing him and others criticizing him for kicking Tank while he's down. However, Floyd, trending hashtags don't matter to him. At this time, the man is a billionaire philosopher. Every scandal serves as a fresh chance for him to demonstrate his untouchability. Let's face it, this is no longer simply about boxing. This has to do with control. Unbeaten, unconcerned, and blatantly wealthy, Floyd has always been the epitome of perfection. That image is threatened by Gervonta's disarray. The shenanigans of Jake Paul jeopardize that heritage. What then does Floyd do? He takes a step back, lets the drama flare, and then wears discipline and diamonds as he passes through the flames. Floyd Mayweather is still the king of controversy, and everyone else is merely renting space in his empire as the arrest, the postponed bout, and the internet outburst all point to everyone is wondering what Floyd will do next as the headlines get messier. Will he be able to save Gervonta, destroy Jake Paul, or simply count his millions while watching his adversaries destroy themselves? One thing is certain, regardless of what occurs next. Mayweather didn't simply break his quiet. He took control of the quiet, made it a focal point, and demonstrated to everyone why even chaos submits to money. The internet became a gladiatorial arena as soon as Floyd's mysterious message appeared on Instagram. Everyone had something to say, from confirmed celebrities to that one guy with 12 followers and a conspiracy idea. You would believe that World War III has begun, but it's actually just Floyd Mayweather making fun of the internet. In a matter of hours, the hashtags #Tank arrested and #Jake Paul cancelled went viral. TikTokers were utilizing police sound effects to mimic Gervonta's arrest. Twitter users were altering Jake Paul's fight posters to read "cancelled due to karma." Additionally, on YouTube, like gremlins in a downpour, reaction channels proliferated. All of a sudden, everyone was a boxing expert, which explains why Floyd's essay about discipline versus ego was a brilliant psychological ploy. But celebs also got involved. So it wasn't just fans going crazy. Floyd's favorite antagonist, 50 Cent, shared a meme featuring Floyd clutching an inverted copy of the book, How to Be a Mentor. What about the caption? "I guess you didn't read chapter 1. The internet went crazy. "Man, these boxers fighting more in court than in the ring," Snoop Dogg added. Jake Paul was out here attempting to contain the damage in the meanwhile. He ranted like a man possessed while pacing his mansion live on Instagram, saying, "Bro, these promoters are afraid. Man, I'm terrifying to everyone. Everyone understands that I'm the future of boxing, which is why Floyd and Tank are afraid." He was made fun of in the comment area. "The only thing you're knocking out is your own career." Someone wrote, "Bro, even your fight ran away from you." Someone else wrote, "Barbaric." The most bizarre twist though, people began to speculate that Floyd had orchestrated the entire sequence of events, similar to a grandmaster in 4D chess. Consider this. The younger generation is embarrassed by Tank's arrest. The YouTube boxing hype is destroyed by Jake's postponed fight. And who is at the top, untouched? Floyd Money Mayweather, enjoying a good wine while observing mayhem unfold as if it were an executive-produced Netflix series. Floyd Mayweather's PR game is so strong, he doesn't need to fight anymore. He just manipulates reality, a widely shared thread stated. "Floyd isn't a boxer at this point," stated another. "He has Wi-Fi and is Thanos." Let's be honest, there is some truth to that. The foundation of Floyd's entire career is control and timing. He is aware of when to strike and when to be quiet. Therefore, it wasn't by accident that he ultimately broke his silence following Gervonta's incarceration. It was computed. Every statement, quotation, and enigmatic remark was a shot at the ego of the boxing industry as a whole. This is when things become really serious though. Due to Gervonta's support base, they weren't content. They called Floyd fake, disloyal, and cold in a barrage of direct messages. He was accused of leaving Tank when he was at his lowest. "How can you preach discipline when your own fighter's behind bars?" a fan tweeted. However, the applause from Floyd's followers was doubled. "He tried to help," they stated. Tank didn't pay attention. He's suffering the price now. Nobody was holding back when the conversation devolved into a virtual boxing fight. Boxing analysts joined the circus as well. The hosts of ESPN discussed whether Floyd's remarks were career assassination or tough love. Floyd's not mad Tank got arrested. He's mad Tank embarrassed the brand, remarked one commentator. This isn't mentorship anymore. It's survival of the fittest, remarked another. Jake Paul continued to fuel the flames in the meantime. Floyd is hiding behind quotes because he knows I'd knock him out even at 60, he tweeted. A few minutes later, Floyd shared a picture with his perfect record, 50-0, along with the words, talk less, make more money. The internet went crazy. Memes such as Jake Paul talks like Tyson, fights like TikTok came in. Gervonta, from Tank to Toad. And I took that personally, Floyd said while sitting in his mansion. TMZ had to intervene only to clarify half of the reports because the digital turmoil was so loud. However, the circus continued. There was a fresh, exclusive source, leak, or fictitious video showing Floyd allegedly smiling about Tank's arrest every hour. One thing emerged from all the chaos. Floyd Mayweather doesn't pursue relevance. Rather, relevance pursues him. He makes headlines like it's his full-time job even when he's not fighting. This was now a cultural event rather than merely a controversy. It was pettiness, pride, and power plays that made boxing popular, not fists. And just when everyone believed the storm had passed, one last move by Mayweather rocked the internet once more. When Floyd makes his next move, the internet is still smoldering. It's a masterclass in subdued dominance. No press conference, no interviews, only one video was uploaded, black backdrop. One chair is the focus of the spotlight. Floyd enters the room sporting a gold watch that most likely cost more than Jake Paul's whole career. I've taught a lot of fighters how to win in the ring, he adds, as he sits and looks directly into the camera. However, I am unable to train them to think creatively. Boom, that's all. 30 seconds, no names, nothing dramatic. Mayweather's unadulterated wisdom fell like a bomb. That video receives millions of views in a matter of minutes. Comment sections go crazy. Floyd just buried Jake and Tank in one sentence. He's speaking to everyone, not just them. Gervonta's legal predicament gets worse in the meantime. Sponsors begin to retreat. Training camps become silent. The Tank era appears to have run out of fuel. Poor Jake. He promises to expose boxing's corruption and intensifies his mayhem. But the world has already gone on. Floyd simply took back control of the story. Once more, analysts begin referring to it as the Mayweather Masterclass, serving as a public reminder that Floyd is in control of fame while others pursue it. He doesn't play defense, clap back, or panic. Like a ghost composed of money and vanity, he just delivers one-liners that upend careers before vanishing back into his kingdom. Not even his detractors can dispute it. In every scandal, Floyd emerges victorious, unharmed, and twice as well known, as if the man had an allergy to losing. The arrest of Gervonta, Jake's breakdown, all of them are merely parts of a narrative in which Floyd remains the protagonist. The memes have subsided by the end of the week, but the lesson remains timeless. Mayweather always prevails in chaos and boxing, because Floyd simply sits back, counts his millions, and reminds everyone that even in silence, money still speaks, while everyone else swings for headlines. Here we have another edition of Boxing Gone Wild, featuring the unholy trinity of chaos: Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis, and Floyd Mayweather. When story twists like this are constantly occurring in real life, who needs Netflix? Jake is out there attempting to persuade us that he is still the future of boxing. Floyd is sitting on his mound of money, and Gervonta is most likely Googling how to rebuild my career. Even if you tried, you couldn't make this up. Therefore, bash that like button, like it owes you money if your jaw is still on the ground like Jake Paul after a left hook. Tell us in a comment which person's ego suffered the most: Floyd's shade, Tank's arrest, or Jake's cancellation. We read them all, I promise, and we laugh more than Floyd counts commas in his bank account. Additionally, don't forget to subscribe, since scandals don't sleep here. Instead, they prepare for the next round. Every episode of Boxing Room leaves you wondering, wait, did that really just happen? The drama is as powerful as a Mayweather counterpunch. Remember that only memes survive in the ring of craziness, so stay tuned and loud.